So this person writes, as a matter of fact, even skilled trainers who have already been doing this type of training for countless years still find themselves trying to learn more about horses and the techniques on how they can be tamed. This person uses tamed. So yes, you're always a student. Just make sure that camera's right on me. All right, thank you. So I know Sabrina's getting loved on by multiple horses behind the camera here, now Legend. So that's why the camera's getting, and there goes the baby.
I know, y'all are getting too much, so.
But that's okay. We do. It's like, this is perfect because I don't want them not to be a part of this, but Legend's nibbling on you now.
Yes.
Because this is, you guys, part of that bond. I mean, look at Sundance. Yes. She just wants to be here with me and share this space.
I just don't want to be knocked out.
I know, just be ready to grab it. So yeah, we're always a student of the horse. I'm always continuing to learn. I'm not here to tell you I know everything, but I do know a lot. And enough to get you guys started in the right direction and to keep you going forward. I think that's the hardest thing for so many people is you get stuck. And you get stuck because you're not with the right trainer or instructor who's giving you a foundation, let alone enough of a foundation to be able to progress and refine and finesse. So a lot of my students, they want to learn dressage, they want to learn a little bit of jumping, a little bit of reining, but they don't want to show. And they don't want to continue up the levels. So that's why it's so important to have a foundation, because once you have a foundation, you have such a well-rounded horse. You've got a horse that can go out on the trails safely by themselves with you or in a group. You've got the mindset from my training method where your horse is doing a very beautiful, collected, big walk, transitions of the trot into a collected round canter. Sabrina, you should just show everybody what the horses are doing, because that's all part of it. Yep, and then this cute, so here we are, you've got, and then Legend to your left, you've got Ledge, you got the new baby with the fly mask on, who's 15 months old, you got Smokey, and then Sundance, you got the Trinity and the baby. So that's why I keep bringing up the word foundation, you guys. Is once you have a foundation, you have the horse that can give you the relationship and ride of your dreams. And a lot of my clients want pleasure riding, but they also want that relationship, and they want to feel safe, and they want to feel connected to their horse. And they want to keep developing that relationship along with the balance of leadership and respect with their horse. So again, that's what foundation provides you. So while I agree 50% with this second sentence here, that even skilled trainers who have already been doing this type of training for countless years still find themselves trying to learn more about horses. Yeah, I'm always wanting to learn more, but once you're at a master level, like I am, I could choose to not learn anymore and still have plenty to share with you guys and help so many people develop that foundation. So what I want to debunk here is that this person kind of is making it sound like even the most skilled trainers, just kind of putting them down, are always learning new techniques. Yeah, kind of, sort of, not really. If you've really done your job to become a well-rounded professional horse trainer and studied and practiced and taken the time like a journeyman, years, you're going to know a lot, and a lot more than most. And you're going to have an excellent baseline in which to work with different natures and different nurtures or learned behaviors. Not to mention you're going to have a strong curriculum and program, so you're going to understand how important it is to have building blocks. So let's talk about building blocks. Wow. So I want to debunk all those trainers out there that don't give you a curriculum, that don't give you building blocks. They just want to tell you, here's the 5 main ground exercises that I work on with my horse all the time, no matter what level they are. And I'm here to tell you that I don't work on the same things with my horses once they have a foundation. Once they have a foundation, we're ready to really start rocking and rolling and working on specializing and working on our master level for the horse as well. So meaning, when I'm developing horses, the lunging method that I have, or lunging methods that I've developed for self-carriage and collection, once my horses have developed that mentally and physically, we don't do those exercises anymore. And the whole time I'm developing horses through my lunging, we're also riding. So we're able to finesse a lot of it and work that self-carriage into the riding training. So that when the horse is done being developed and can pick up all of those amazing collected movements and all of the gaits and transitions of the walk, trot, and canter, we're further developing it under saddle, so to speak, and into a more masterful level. And if you follow classical dressage, you understand that they have a training pyramid. I also have a training pyramid. I have 8 levels, not 5 though. And so, you know, when you understand that, you know that even if the first level for me is developing relaxation and a mindset in my horse, I always want that first level. And there's other attributes and characteristics to that first level, but let's just take relaxation of the mind and body. As my horse progresses into the second level, I know I need to continue and maintain the first level. So we're just building upon the first level into the second level. And once the second level is doing really well, we take that first and second level building blocks into the third level, so forth and so on. So you see, they're all stepping stones. We don't just start with one exercise, which so many trainers do. Oh, let me show you how to lunge your horse. But yeah, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you could hurt your horse in the lunge. Or your horse could hurt themselves just because they're mentally been destroyed in the lunging. They're not ready to lunge. So we have to undo all of that negative training and negative experiences and create a more positive. And so many of you have horses that have those kinds of hiccups, trauma, problems, where you're like, my God, this just isn't easy. I just thought, I got this horse, I saw him being lunged by the trainer, I took him home, I don't know what I'm doing. This horse just went berserk on the lunge line and started bucking. Or they're speeding up and rushing through the gates, which means they're falling out, they're causing undue stress and trauma to parts of their body. Body's being compromised, it's not correct, and they're not developing correctly. So this is why I keep going back to building blocks in curriculum, you guys. And I'm not going to follow somebody's advice on YouTube, on their training videos, if they don't have a curriculum. I hope that makes sense. And if it doesn't, please leave a comment about how important foundation training is in starting with your building blocks and building this foundation so that before you know it, you don't have to go back and fix things. And if you do have to fix them, because while you're learning, you're going to have hiccups, you're going to have challenges because you're learning, both you and the horse, you're able to backtrack. That's another beautiful thing about having building blocks in a curriculum. So right now we're still talking about the basics of horse training and how important building blocks in a curriculum are to follow. So that if you go, wow, you know, I'm doing this exercise and there's 5 to 10 different pieces of this exercise, and all of a sudden it worked yesterday but it fell apart today, you're going to be able to go back and look at the steps of that exercise and retrace your steps. Retrace them, start over, and pay attention to each step, each building block, and go, wow, oh my gosh, my backup stunk. So if my backup stinks in my lunge and then I go to send to my horse, then everything else is going to fall apart. Because the backup in my lunging, both the free lunge and the round pen and online, the backup is so, look at Sundance pinning her ears, she and Smokey. No, Lord, they're fighting over me, and then she doesn't want the baby coming over. Let me get over here with Smokers, because he's crippled. I'm right here. I know I'm right here. I'm right here. I know. You got lots to tell me. I know. I don't spend as much time with you anymore. I'm sorry. I love you. So you guys get to see my horses still dirty from last night. They'll all get hosed off and some of them will get a fungal bath. Oh, look at you. I know. He's not pinning his ears at me, you guys. He is and he isn't. He's expressing himself and telling me how upset he is, but he's also trying to keep the baby off in a way. So talking about those building blocks. So if I give you an exercise like so many of these trainers do online, I'm always going to refer back to my curriculum. And if my exercise is not working correctly, you're going to have to go back to the curriculum. And that's why it's so awesome to have one, because it's an outline, a step-by-step outline for you to check, for you to become a better diagnostician and problem solver. So here we get back to this person's basic tips, and we're going to have a part 2 and a part 3 to this post. So it's a long one and a doozy. So basically this person is just talking about horses are herd animals, and herds generally survive under the leadership of a herd in a group, or of a head in a group. And this person makes mention that the horse herd, the leader is usually a stallion. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not true, ever. So if you've studied wild horses, and most domesticated herds do not have stallions, obviously, the mare is always in charge, you guys, always. Just like a female human, a female horse, a female of any species, it is a mother. These guys are designed to procreate, to have babies, and in order for them to successfully raise the baby, they have to be really good at being bossy, observant, being a great disciplinary figure, because they're raising that young, and they've got to teach the young how to behave correctly in their society, in their horse culture. And it's no different than us having babies. Mothers are much better, for the most part, much better at raising. And we are genetically and instinctively predisposed to do that. Not the males. The males are hunters and gatherers. They find the food, for the most part. It does change in some species. They find the food and give us the safety to raise the young. So the stallion is there to help provide safety. Don't get me wrong. Oh my gosh. But it is the lead mare and all of the mares within that herd that work together in the wild to help raise all of the young and keep the social order, so forth and so on, that's needed in a healthy herd. So that's wrong. And how many of our domesticated herds have stallions in them? That would be insane. They'd kill each other. So here we go. We'll move on. This is the stuff that's out there, though. This is not the only website that talks like this. So in your relationship with your horse, your role is to be the lead mare with your horse as the stallion, regardless of the gender. That just makes no sense. You also need to understand that horses by nature are scared of people as well as other animals. Perhaps you can expect that these huge beasts will show distrust. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, horses by nature are very skeptical and cautious. More than anything, I wouldn't say they're scared. That's the wrong word I would use. And horses are not scared of other animals. They're only cautious and aware of predators. That's why when you look at even National Geographic, Nat Geo, and you see zebras out there, they're grazing and at the water holes with all the other prey animals. And even sometimes the predators that come in and give them the body language that they're not interested in food, they're interested in drinking. And in the wild, horses are out there grazing with deer and other prey animals. They're not afraid of other animals, but they do know what a predator looks like. And that's also just being able to read body language. Predators have eyes in the front Prey have eyes on the side. And that's one strong, easy feature to recognize. And that's recognizable with horses. And the reason why predators, their eyes are right in front of their face, direct on, is because we're very linear. We're focused. I'm a predator, I'm a human. So we're very focused. And prey have their eyes on the side, so it's easier for them to see their surroundings more easily and be more sensory aware, if that makes sense. So just right off the bat, the horse can easily distinguish other species just by looking at their eyes, whether they're a friend or a foe.